This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. This is KHQA. It's your news now.
Well, this is Saturday, March the 8th, and you have entered overtime. We're in March Madness, to borrow from the poet. Down here, it's just winners and losers, and don't get caught up on the wrong side of that line. Today, we're in the business of trying to keep basketball championship hopes alive, be they conference, regional, or state. For the 5 high school teams still drawing breath in our area, and for no one was the pressure probably higher today than Andy Anderson and the Canton Tigers. This is a program that has historically knocked on the door of greatness, with luminaries ranging from Aaron Hill to Colt Carper to present, but has never reached the promised land. Even against that backdrop, this year's incarnation of Tiger basketball appeared to be extra special. But there was only truly one way to find out for certain: get to state. That was the mission today against Father Tolton, and an outstanding freshman, Michael Porter Jr., also playing for Tolton, the son of former Palmyra star Greg Church. We pick it up here early. Canton off to a good start. Some give and take in this ball game going on early on as Gabe McKenzie gets the block. People walk in front of me. I swatted him, or at least I wanted to. I couldn't, but there goes McKenzie with the early take right there. More to come after a dicey couple of first possessions. Tyler Neiman becomes Tyler Neiman again. Hooks up with Brandon Bearhorst on the quick up and under move. Pretty stuff from the Canton Tigers from that point forward. Moving on now, some more Gabe McKenzie following his own miss right here in the face of Michael Porter. He was undaunted. Big key today for Canton. Gabe McKenzie just taking it strong on every take. And then the ultimate hustle play for Tyler Neiman. Great scoop down on the Porter turnover. Somehow gets that to go, and Canton was off and running in this ball game. Back the other direction in the first quarter, though. Here comes Father Tolton, and here comes Porter, one of the top 20 freshmen in the country, we're told. Canton up 10-6 to start at that point. He was as good as advertised. So too Brandon Bearhorst, though, knocking down a triple right here to give his team added momentum. How about some more fun right here? It's Porter going up. He's stripped on the backside by Logan Brown, and that is Tyler Neiman about to take charge, go in transition, and get the bucket at the other end. And in the waning moments of the first quarter into the second, here comes Canton full bore. Gabe McKenzie, strong take in the blocks. Then right here, back the other direction, though. Here comes Michael Porter again. He gets stripped a couple of times, still manages to keep the ball, get the take at the other end. His team back within 4. Andy Anderson in full uneasy repose. Canton fans know that look, but it's not a bad side because the Tigers were about to get going. Great scoop pass on the interior right here. Great finish off the miss by Tyler Neiman. Point guards who hit the offensive glass are rare. At that point, 25-16, and then the real fun at the other end. Throw down, dropping the hammer, rise, and destroy. It was Gabe McKenzie. He's fired up. That answer to a Michael Porter dunk, and yeah, the Canton fans were loving it. They had a sense that once Father Tolton tried to play at their tempo, this thing was done, and it would be done. Canton going to work yet again. Tyler Neiman, building and augmenting what is an outstanding player of the year type resume already. He had 33 points in the day. Neiman just doing Neiman type things, taking over this ball game. That mid-range jumper is just so lethal. And then it's Neiman with the steal, going to hook up with Gabe McKenzie on the other end. Neiman with 33 points in the day. Just a huge, huge throwdown right here as well. Look at him using the shoulder and shielding. That's great stuff. Canton up. Big run kind of down the stretch from Michael Porter, but Canton is going to taste history. They're going to hold it off, and Andy Anderson is going to get his well-deserved place at the table. Finally, the Canton Tigers are headed to state. They win today by the final count of 72-66. Yeah, that is a happy, excited coaching staff and an even happier group of fans. The entire town of Canton all ready to make that trip and that trek down to Columbia. The kids giving hugs. It was that kind of day. And for their efforts, the Canton Tigers will take on Iberia, who got a win by 1 today over Crane, 51-50. A little history between these two programs. Iberia is where Matt Pugh, one of the best disciples that Andy Anderson has had, got his coaching start. So it should be an awful lot of fun. But today, the big, big story, the slam and the finish today for the Canton Tigers.
Absolutely. They came down through an alley-oop to Michael, and then I came down and dunked down the other end. They got up in their press, and I snuck behind, and Tyler gave me a good pass and just flushed it down. Absolutely. That brought our momentum up a lot, Our defense started to pick up, and you just tell everyone got pumped up.
It's a tremendous feeling. I told the guys in the locker room that I'm proud and lucky to be their coach, and I told them that don't forget those guys that have played before you and helped build this tradition. And you know, we've been here a couple other times, but our guys this year helped get this tradition over the top.
It's definitely sweet. Any sport for me to make it to the Final Four is such a blessing. And we went out today and played hard. And we knew we had a good chance to win. And everyone gave it their 110%. And it really showed tonight, and that's how we came out victorious.
It means a lot for the seniors to get them here because they've been working hard the past years, and we fell short, and now since we're here, it feels great.
This is such a huge relief. I know looking at our banners this morning in pregame shoot-around or whatever, there's never been a boys basketball team to get to state, and that's what no one's ever got past quarterfinals, and knowing that we're making history and making Canton proud is just an amazing feeling.
Pretty darn neat stuff. Much more on the Final Four bound Canton Tigers coming up tomorrow and later this week. Well, it wasn't so very long ago that one could simply pencil the Marion County girls basketball team into a Final Four trip back in the salad days of Jessica Redd and Randy Lee Plunkett. That this particular incarnation of the Lady Mustangs was but one win away from Columbia, and returning there ranks as a very pleasant surprise, especially with this being Mike Johnson's ride into the coaching sunset. The mission today, scrounge up a win any way you could against the Lynn County squad at Pershing Arena at Truman State. This was an interesting ball game for Mike Johnson's crew. Great start in this one as Sadie Pollard comes free, kicks one off the glass. Her team up 7-2 at that point. They're not done with the outstanding flourish out of the gate. Check out Devin Johnson's pass right here. A thing of beauty up the floor to Danielle Maxwell, who's going to finish 9-2 run to start. This seemed way too easy, and it would be. That was a false cue for the Marion County Lady Mustangs because Lynn County would fight back with a flourish in this game. Megan Schreiner with a knockdown jumper there. Marion County was leading by 1 at the half thanks to some jumpers like this one. Danielle Maxwell outside for the 3, and then it's Devin Johnson time as well. As I mentioned, Marion County after this Johnson bucket would take a 1-point lead into the third quarter, but would have to play catch up the entire second half as Lynn County would take the lead. Marion County trying to get back in this game. Who are you going to call? Devin sent right here. Devin Johnson getting the fortuitous roll. Her team down 3 at that point, now just down 2, or actually down 1 at that point. And then Devin going to work right here, ties the game up at 44 apiece with 1:07 left, forcing overtime in the OT. Not a lot of scoring, but Devin Johnson would provide what her team would need. Answering the call. She's been a part of some of those great teams as an underclassman, stepping up today like a senior, and a couple of critical free throws for Devin down the stretch. She canned them all. Marion County books its ticket back to state. What a fitting finish for them as they get the job done today, knocking off Lynn County 50-46 as you see time expire. Mike Johnson and crew very excited. What a way to end this phenomenal run for Coach Johnson. What a phenomenal finish today to the season for a Marion County team that struggled during the regular season, but this has been absolute fun. Up next for them, this may not be a fun pairing. Walnut Grove, who's really, really good, will be Marion County's opponent at Missouri Arena on Thursday at 1:40. Walnut Grove taking care of business today and destroying Drexel 71-37. But at this point, it's all free money for the Marion County Lady Mustangs as they go to work and try to win and bring home. They're guaranteed to bring home another state trophy. They'll just try to bring home as big a one as they possibly can. Well, there's been no better local Cinderella story this postseason than the Knox County Lady Eagles, who played themselves to within a game of the Show Me Showdown. Punching a ticket to Columbia, however, would require hurdling a rather sizable roadblock in powerhouse New Franklin, who was 27-1 coming into today's game. This might be the game of the day. Sarah Dooley and the Lady Eagles looking to create their own unique historical niche here today, playing opportunistic early on in the passing lanes on defense. Shanna Elder with a steal in the backcourt ties the game up at 6 at that point. More now. This time again it's Elder with the quick hands, the sleight of hand defense, hooking up with Lauren Dale, who's going to go ahead of everybody, beat the defender, use the shoulder to shield, and get the bucket. And then later it's the freshman Carissa Hamlin for 3. She is indeed Knox County's freshman, and she's a good one. 16-11 Eagles to that point. Allie Hunley and New Franklin, though, they weren't 27-1 on the season for nothing. The steal coming up right here by Hunley. She's just never going to stop with it. She's going to just drive the ball down the floor and decide her best option is herself. Great take for her right here, and the comeback was on. Second quarter was a bit of a disaster, however, in this one for Knox County, as ball control was kind of ugly in this one. Ashlyn Himmelberg would finish right here with points off the turnover, and that was kind of the key, as it would be a big, big lead in this one for New Franklin in the second. The lone bright spot for Knox, Taylor Lincoln at the end of the first half, halftime buzzer beater, magnificently done by her, which cut the Lady Bulldog lead down to 10. 33-23 was the halftime lead in favor of New Franklin. Third quarter, though, second half, Lady Eagles start chipping away in this ball game. Going to do so in transition right here. Again, Lauren Dale playing point guard. Again, it's the freshman, the Fab Frosh, Carissa Hamlin with a three-point play at the other end. And you can tell by the fan response, the Lady Eagles did the lion's share of their chipping away in this one at the charity stripe. Free throws pivotal in this game. And then Carissa Hamlin with the bomb at the 3:02 mark in regulation to give Knox its first lead since the first quarter, 48-46. 51 all waning seconds. Knox forces a New Franklin miss, trying to beat the buzzer at the other end. Lauren Dale appears to be ahead of everybody with a chance to win this thing at the end of regulation, but she was called for the travel. She does not agree. Doesn't matter. We're going to extra basketball at this time. Then it is Miss Lauren Dale atoning with the dagger three to give her team a 4-point lead. It would be tied up at 58 all with 22 seconds left. The good news, Knox County has the ball. The Eagles will get the last shot, or so it appeared. Scrum under the basket, 6 seconds left. Allie Hunley, quicker than you can say Tyus Edney, with the game winner at the buzzer. Oh, what heartbreak for Knox County. Great season for them, but it comes to an end in heartbreaking fashion. 60-58 your final. Great job, Lady Eagles. Just a tough way to go down. Meanwhile, Palmyra trying to get things done today against Herman, trying to book their passage back. You remember the heartbreak they experienced last year in the quarterfinals. No heartbreak today. It was just a tough bit of going. But Lexi Lawson picked up right where she left off the other night in Mexico. Great take for her. Then it's Kitty Hinkle with the steal. Going to find Emily Bross in transition right there to make things a tie ball game early in this one. Things would get weird, though, very quickly for Palmyra in this game. Herman is really good. Herman, by the way, coached by Todd Anderson. He was Chris Parsons' college roommate. Kind of a strange and neat pairing in this game. They probably didn't want to talk a whole lot after this one. At least Chris Parsons didn't, because they had no answer for Jamie K. Gleason in this ball game, nor for Tesla Redinger. Signs everywhere. There's signs. She's a good ball player, knocking that down. Palmyra trying desperately to come back down 14 at this point. It's Allie Dietrich doing Allie Dietrich things to try to make this thing just a little bit closer. Tough night for Palmyra. Bad beat for Palmyra. They ran into a buzzsaw tonight. Herman shows why they're the number 2 team in the state. They win and end Palmyra's fine season. 53-39 is your final there. Now, we also had unfinished business to attend to today as well at Redbird Arena, as the Quincy Notre Dame Lady Raiders denied a chance for the biggest trophy in Illinois girls basketball, sought to put the proper punctuation on their stellar season in the third-place tilt. Our Will Wilson has the lowdown from the down low on the floor in Bloomington Normal.
Perhaps with the loss to Joliet Catholic, the dream of winning 4 state titles in a row and playing one last time together, the Quincy Notre Dame girls could finally simply just relax out there on the court. If that was the case, they showed it today in a blowout win over Burlington Central, 64-40, to take third place in the state.
We were just ready to have fun and go out on a win, so I think that getting those first couple of buckets and then our student section never fails to amaze us. So I think that we were all just like ready to come out on a win, ready to have fun and just play good basketball.
This is what we worked for all season, just to get back here and third in the state where nobody even expected us after losing Jordan and Cass, who were great players. Nobody expected us to do this, so we just proved a lot, and our character has come through in these 2 games, and I'm so proud and happy to accomplish this.
They're part of the legacy where they're always trying to be. We talked about that legacy for them as seniors, but for them to go out with a win, and it just shows what great characters they're going to be alive. And these are outstanding individuals, and I am the luckiest guy in Quincy. Trust me, I know that day in and day out.
I couldn't ask for a better team. We go to practice every day, and we work hard. We work harder than any team in the state. We go out and we work our butts off, and we have fun doing it. So it's just been amazing to experience this with such a great team and put so much hard work and dedication into it.
Just everything, these 4 years, have been more than I could have ever dreamt of or asked for. And just to be a part of this program with these girls and the girls that have played in the past, I'm so blessed. I'm so fortunate to have been a part of this legacy.
And your town and school have been blessed to watch you girls. Congratulations on a fantastic season. That's all from Redbird Arena. Will Wilson, KHQA Sports.
Yeah, echo that sentiment. What a great run by Q&D. Meanwhile, a bit of a surprise in the 3A title game today. Montini, which played terribly yesterday in the semifinals, bounces back and beats Joliet Catholic 57-44. Kateri Stone, who is signed to play with Colgate, and former Monroe City star Nikki Hayes-Ford, who's the head coach there, with a big day today with 12 points in that one. And unfortunate news, Rolling Meadows, who has been the star of the KHQA Subway Superfan Shootout the last 2 years, for the second year in a row has to play bridesmaid to Whitney Young. 60-44 was your final in the 4A game as well. And we're just getting warmed up. Coming up next, big day for John Wood basketball. We'll have the highlights straight ahead.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. For a team that looked so very sharp back in January and February, the Quincy University Lady Hawks appear to have stumbled into an ill-timed March swoon. One day after appearing to have regained their traction in the opening round of the GLVC tournament, they ran into a buzzsaw today in Amy Egan's Truman State Bulldogs, the lowest point total output offensively of the year for the Lady Hawks as they get bombed at a 68-54. They're out of the GLVC tournament, likely into the regional tournament. They'll find that out tomorrow. By the way, shout out to Lucy Cramsey. The Liberty product scored her 1,000th career point in the loss today. How about the John Wood Trailblazers semifinals against the host team in the Region 24 tournament? Zach Main, the pride at Camp Point Central, getting the shooter's role today. And Zach Main was a monster in this game, this time working in the blocks. Really good take from him. John Wood fighting very hard against a very spirited Lincoln team. Jordan Johnson from the left wing bombs the three. Johnson again would give his team the lead right here with another triple. How about Maine doing other things as well, like playing distributor? Going to hook up here with Paxton Harmon. It was a lot of Zach Main, a lot of great passing, and a lot of finishing today as John Wood gets it done. Advances on to the championship game tomorrow at 2 o'clock over in Lincoln to take on ICC. John Wood beats Lincoln by the final count in this one of 85-81. Some college scores to pass along today. John Wood baseball team successful for the second day in a row against the Chesapeake Slapjacks. I'm not making that up. Elder Adamus today with a 3-for-4 day at the plate, a home run, and the save in relief as well. Quincy University fell today by Southwest Oklahoma State in 2, 4-0 and 3-0. The Hawks are now 1-5 on the season. Big day for Hannibal's Paul Trenhale and Truman State, which picks up its first win of the spring in beating Hillsdale 8-4. Trenhale with 3 RBIs. Also today, Culver Stockton fell twice today by Houston Victoria in softball, despite the pitching efforts of Hannah Washburn, and shut out in the second game against Auburn Montgomery. Final count in that one was 6-0. Finally, want to pass along a wrestling note today. The Quincy Junior High Schoolers, what a day for them. At the Jacksonville sectional today, they send off six wrestlers to state, including 3 sectional champions in Gavin Mast, Tommy Pickett, and as well Matthew Dade. I'm sorry, Tommy, I misspelled your name trying to type it quickly. Also advancing on are Hunter Carter, who finished 3rd in the sectional, Hunter Yawn, who finished 3rd in the sectional, and Jordan McNay, who finished 2nd in the sectional as well. And we'll have more overtime for you, including your Con Communication Connection, coming up after this. Con Communication time. We go with a rarity this week. We go college, and we go the pride of Illini West, Brody Gronwald. Last night in his team's opener at the Region 24 tournament, we had a lot of good stuff to choose from, but this was pretty special as Brody Gronwald, the freshman, comes up strong with the wonderful, magnificent Pete Maravich-style scoop shot right there to get the bucket, the Band-Aid, and the three-point play in his team's victory. Gronwald with another nice night tonight. John Wood playing well. We thought, why not? So that is your 4th and final nominee for the month of February. I know we've moved into March, but that's just the way things work. Here for your consideration are your awards winners for Play of the Month. Kaylee Kuhn from Unity with the gigantic 30-footer that she hit in the postseason. Joel Howren with the bizarre dunk slash buzzer beater, missed dunk if you will, slash buzzer beater for Keokuk. Also Gabe McKenzie with the huge throwdown over in the districts at Louisiana, or over at Clopton, I should say, and Brody Gronwald, which you've now seen. Starting on Monday, you can vote for your favorite, and simply by voting, you're eligible to win a prize package from Con Communications. Speaking of prizes, what a prize signee Eric Yokish, the pride of Virginia, Illinois, is turning out to be so far in his very brief window as a Chicago Cubs pitcher. Today working in relief. He got to start earlier in the week back on Monday. Today working in relief, and he was darn good again. 3 more innings pitched, gave up 4 hits today, also struck out 4, didn't give up a run. He has now pitched 6 innings against major league competition, has not yet given up a run in any of that. Heck, Eric Yokish may be the ace of staff for the Cubs at the rates he's going. Great to see the lefty doing work, and we'll keep you updated on his progress throughout the spring. Figure he's probably going to start in AAA, but the way he's pitching right now, again, the Cubs may keep him around. We'll have more overtime coming up after this. any of that, so let's just chat. Yeah, just come back to me. Since we literally ran tonight 16 minutes of high school basketball highlights, I'm going to wrap up quickly here. If you missed it tonight, Illinois comes back to beat Iowa tonight on a John Eakey three-pointer at the buzzer, 66-63. And Mizzou today against Tennessee loses 72-45 on the road. Ugly, ugly, ugly. The Tigers probably headed to the NIT, and deservedly so. Hey, coming up tomorrow, our man Will Wilson will have for you John Wood in action in the Region 24 tournament. We'll also know the postseason opponents for Quincy University and Culver Stockton, the women for QU, the men for Culver Stockton, obviously, as those announcements will be made both at the NCAA Division II and the NAIA level. Plus, we'll check in with the Unity Mustangs and much, much more for you as they're headed off to the Super Sectional coming up on Tuesday. Lots of goodies right here with Will. Hope you'll tune in. Hope you'll check back in with us next week on Overtime, where hopefully we're crowning a couple of state champions. We'll see you then, everybody.